Hello, noble students and families. This is the second video of the day on Friday, going over the day 4 questions for the math worksheet. I'm also going to explain quickly how to do day 5's page. I will not be able to go over the answers as well because you are going to need a ruler, and it's going to be hard for me to show you that here in the video, but I can give you an explanation of it as we go. So let's go ahead and get into this quickly. So we're going with day 4 questions for math. If you have not done this page yet, then I suggest you don't watch this video until you have completed it so we can check the answers, okay? All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with question 1. We're rounding 185 to the nearest 100, and they provided us with a number line here, which is awesome and makes it easy to use. So we're rounding it to the nearest 100, which means we're looking at the hundreds place, here the 1. And the 8's going to tell us which way to go, but just by looking at the number line, I can tell 100 is down here, and 200 is up here, and I know that's what I'm going to need to round this number to, either down to 100 or up to 200. And based off of the point that's right here on the number line, it's pretty easy to tell which way we're going to round. We're going to round up to 200 because it's closer. So your answer for number 1 should be 200. Number 2, filling in the unknown factor, blank times 3 equals 6. So a couple of ways to do this is to think of what that math fact is, what times 3 equals 6. Or I can reverse this process and I could do 6 divided by 3. So 6 divided into 3 groups would give me an answer of 2. 2 times 3 equals 6. What is the name of the shape for number 5? This shape is called a pentagon. A pentagon has 5 sides. The shape has 5 sides. This is a pentagon, spelled P-E-N-T-A-G-O-N. Number 4, 897 minus 487. I can tell this one's going to work out nicely for us. So 897 minus 487. Pretty simple here. We're doing 7 minus 7 is 0. 9 minus 8 is 1, and 8 minus 4 is 4. You should have gotten 410 for number 4. Which of these weighs less? That's a pretty easy question here. We can just tell by the size of the shape and also by the number of kilograms for each item. Clearly, the gorilla is going to weigh less. 8 times 8 for number 6. 8 groups of 8 could have been a way you could have solved this, or you might have known the fact, and the answer is 64. All right, number 7, Jason woke up at 7 a.m. to get ready for school. He was ready to catch the bus at 7:53. How many minutes is that? So how many minutes did it take him from 7 a.m. to 7:53? So the way to solve this is you can use a clock, but it's also pretty simple to take that time that he ended with and kind of make it into a little subtraction problem of what time did he start with, right? So we're just doing 3 minus 0 is 3, 5 minus 0, 5, and 7 minus 7 is 0. So I know it took him this amount of time right here. It took him 53 minutes. Okay? You got to be careful doing this because remember that when you get to 12 o'clock and the next number after 12 is going to be 1. So if I say I did something from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, then obviously I can't do 1 minus 12. That's going to give me a negative number. You got to be careful using this method. It's really best to use when the hour is the same, right? So 7, 7, and both are AM. Okay. Number 8, 4 times 9. Again, you can use your equal groups to solve this, but 4 times 9 is 36. Number 9 says solve inside the parentheses first, then solve the rest of the equation. We've done problems similar to this before where we have 2 functions to do inside of our problem. So here we're multiplying twice, so it's not a big a deal what order we go in, but because we're going to get the same answer. But if we had multiplication and division, then obviously we want to be more careful. But here we're doing the parentheses first. So 3 times 2 gives us 6, and we still have our 4 left. They moved it over here, so 6 times 4 is going to be 24. Okay. Here we're doing 2 times 4 first, so we know 2 times 4 is 8. We still have our 3 left. They've moved it over here. And 3 times 8 also going to give us 24. So we're going to have the same answer because we're only doing multiplication here, and that's the reason why we end up with the same answer. Number 10, 462 plus 200, plus 397. Let me go ahead. Doing a little erasing here to give me some more room to solve here. We've got a picture in the middle of our page that's not really helpful for us. So 462, I'm going to go ahead and do this up here. 462 plus 397. All right, 2 plus 7 gives me 9. 6 plus 9 gives me 15. I'm going to put the 5 down here in 15 and the 1 up here in 15. Regrouping in and carrying that 1. And 1 plus 4 plus 3 is going to give me an answer of 8. So 859 for problem number 10. Okay. Here we're counting by tens, but we're starting with 55. So we're going to need the 5 in the ones place to stay there because we're counting by 10. So 55, 65, we got 75, we got 85, we have 95, and then we're going to jump to 105. All right, number 12, Mrs. Yates made 5 costumes for the school play. On each costume, she sewed 4 ribbons. How many ribbons did she sew in all? So 5 costumes, 4 ribbons each. 5 times 4, not 5 plus 4. Because we're talking about different things, we want to multiply. Okay, and that's going to give me an easy answer of 20. Okay, put these numbers in order from the greatest to the least. So greatest first, least last. We're looking for. They all have 100. They all have a ones place, but they also all have a tens place, and they also all have a hundreds place. So we'll start with the hundreds place. I see a 3, a 9, a 1, and a 3. So we're going to be careful with the 3s, but I know that 9 is going to come first. I'm just going to put a 1 here to show you. This is first. Excuse me. Then we're going to look at, well, let's see, 3 and 1. Well, 3 is bigger than 1, so we got to go to our 376 and 362. Since they both start with a 3 in the hundreds place, we're going to need to go to the tens place. So I see a 7 and a 6. Remember, we want the greatest, so the one that would be greater would be the bigger number. So that makes this one number 2. That makes this one number 3. And the last number is 112. Okay? Shade in 8/10 of the hearts. So, for some reason, I don't know what's going on here, but I cannot see the hearts. I don't know if it's the same on your paper. But what you can do is go ahead and draw 10 hearts. And you can shade in 8 of them. I feel like there was supposed to be a picture here, and either it didn't get copied or there was a mistake in the book. But here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we just want to shade in 8 of them. So I'm going to do this real quick. It's not going to be pretty, but it's going to look something like this. Shading in 8 of them, give you something that looks like that. Okay? 8 of the 10. In a multiplication problem, the 2 numbers that are multiplied together are the blank. So, what do we call the 2 numbers that are multiplied together? So, like if I'm doing 4 times 4, 16. What do we call 2 numbers multiplied together? They have a name. And if you did the last page, the date day 1 page, then you might remember the word factors. These are called factors. Okay? Pretty simple stuff there. All right, those are the answers for the day 4 math page. Again, make sure you've done this before you watch this video. It'd be greatly appreciated. All right. Yeah, so I'm not seeing the hearts here for some reason, so I'm not sure exactly what happened there. But you can draw your own hearts. Let me go down here to the math lesson 11.2 on perimeter. So A quick explanation of what they wanted you to do in this lesson is to find perimeter. How can we measure perimeter? And we can estimate, measure perimeter in standard units such as inches and centimeters. Now, we have not done our lesson on measurement, but if you have a ruler at home or even a yardstick, most yardsticks and rulers have inches and centimeters on them, so you could use those rulers to help you with this lesson. So what they want you to do is to, for this first problem, estimate the perimeter of a notebook in inches. So if you have a notebook at home or any book, you can even use any book. It doesn't have to be exactly what they ask you to do. Okay, you could measure those things in inches. And remember that perimeter is the four sides. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but go ahead and leave it. It's the four sides added together. So whatever shape, or if your shape has more than four sides, then you're going to add more than four sides. But it's however many sides and the lengths of those sides added together. So if you measured this notebook and you found that the top was, let's just give a guess of 7 inches. I think notebook paper is usually about 8 for the top and about 11 for the side. But nice easy numbers, we'll do 7, and we'll say the side is 10. Well, that would mean that this side is the same as this side. Remember, those are usually the same if we're doing a rectangle. This is a rectangle shape. And let's say the other side is obviously 10 since it's across. Okay? So we're going to do ahead and add these four numbers together in here. 7, 10, 7, 10. Okay? And we add those together. 10 plus 10 is 20. 7 plus 7 is 14. We're going to end up with 34. Now your answer might not be the same if you're measuring your notebook with your ruler. Okay? But what they're going to want you to do is go ahead and measure these shapes as well with an inch ruler. This one asks you to use an inch ruler. Okay, so you measure the sides, you add them up. Okay, this shape is a square. They want you to use a centimeter ruler this time. So if your ruler also has centimeters, that would be great. You measure the four sides, and notice that this is a square, so all sides should be what? They should all be the same because it's a square. Okay, and then you're going to add those four sides together to get the perimeter there. Okay. Go on down. So same thing with this one, this page. Okay. Pretty simple. You're just measuring here in inches. Okay. Measuring this one in centimeters, inches, inches. Okay. Parents, I'm sure you can assist your scholar with finding the inches and centimeters side of the ruler. If you don't have a ruler with inches, or with centimeters on it, just do inches for all of them. It's no big deal. Okay, we just want to get in the habit of being able to measure and understand how to measure, and then also be able to just add the sides to find the perimeter. Okay, we know what perimeter is. Perimeter is the length on the outside of a shape. Okay, so adding all the sides and their lengths together. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. So then we have an on my own page. So parents, try to let your scholar do these two on their own. You can even let them do one or two of these on their own, but they can get assistance from you with this page, this page. Again, I would maybe let them try 4 and 5 on their own, or 3 and 4, and you do 2 and 5 together. Since this is centimeters, this is inches. Okay, however you want to do it, but definitely give them an opportunity to do some of these problems on their own. Okay. The last problem here says use the grid paper, draw a figure that has a perimeter of 24 centimeters. So you're going to want to draw this 24 centimeters. So think about what your sides could be if we're going to get 24. If we're going to have 4 sides, and we got 24. We could do a square. 24 divided by 4. How long is each side going to be? Okay, and each thing, as you can see here, 1 centimeter. Okay, so 2, 3, and so on until you get 24 centimeters. And again, it doesn't have to be a 4-sided shape. You can just count as you go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. There, I made 24. Okay. So don't copy my shape, but something like that. Count till we get to 24 and make sure we get close to the end when we're getting close to 24. Okay? The last page, definitely can do problem 9. I would definitely suggest letting your scholar do problem 9. Problem 10, it should be easy too. How much greater? So when we hear the words how much, we should automatically think correct. How much greater? Okay? You can try 11, but they're probably going to need some assistance with that one. 12. Probably going to need assistance with 12 as well. And 13. They could probably try that one on their own, but you can also assist them as well. Okay. Well, we tended not to get to these questions during math lessons. Occasionally we did a few of them. But again, do as much as you can. It's optional. It's up to you how much you get done. But thank you so much for those of you who are checking in, doing the work, reading the stories, reading Charlotte's Web, commenting on Google Classroom, commenting in videos. I appreciate it so much, and I hope you have a great weekend. I will see you back on Monday with another video. Mr. Coblentz, out.